What is up, everybody? This is your boy, Is Nefarious, and I'm here for another episode following the Chicago White Sox rebuild. And forgive me for the confusion or anything like that. We're still trying to find a way to map out the series and really drive home the storyline of rebuilding these Chicago White Sox. We are finally in season 2. We had opening day already. We've done spring training. We've done all that. We've had some major changes to this roster. We did not do a great job scouting, and hopefully in this episode we get to the first round of scouting and we could talk about some of the improvements we would like to make. It just depends on the length of it. I don't want it to go out too long, and I want to make sure that you're enjoying every episode before you start to drift and find something else to do. So that being said, in today's episode we want to do a few things. We do want to participate in our rookie Hagen Smith's first MLB start. We did bring him up last year as part of the bullpen. He will finally be a starting pitcher this year, so we want to get into Hagen Smith's first start. We also want to take a look at a couple other things. Now, we also want to take a look at the debut of one of our draft picks, Juan Cruz, who is the number 4 overall draft pick in our system, our number 4 overall prospect, I should say. Then we also want to take a look at the debut of Liho Tehera, who's actually a top 10 prospect in our system as well. So a couple players that we want to get the debuts of here in the AA. So we'll have a little bit of AA action. We also want to talk about, some contract decisions we have to make with a couple of players. Now, the major one being Josh Rojas, who is on the final year of his deal and will be a free agent come 2027. So we won't have any control over him. He is starting to regress. He's 31 years old. If we're in a position where we're not competing, we could definitely trade him, or if we are in a position where we are competing, we could package him with a pick and potentially get a improvement for third base. We also have Lennon Sosa, who is a second baseman. He is an option to come up and take over at third base. We also have Colson Montgomery, who can move to third base, and we got a few options for third base, but that's also another storyline, and we'll get into the game with Josh Rojas and talk about that a little bit. And that's the plan for the episode. Before we get to scouting and we talk about that, we'll see how long it goes. We don't want it to drag on too long, so without further ado, let's jump into it. And the first thing we got to do is jump into a game with Hagen Smith. Now, before we jump in with Hagen Smith, we also got the debut of DJ Stewart, who batted .333 last year. He was a Rule 5 draft pick, kind of standing in to be that backup first baseman. He also provides a lot of pop from the left-hand side. As he gets hit with the first pitch, we don't even get a shot to really do anything with Stewart, but a huge pickup from the Rule 5 draft, as we are going to go and take a look at Hagen Smith now. So with a 2-run home run in the top half by Luis Robert Jr., gives us some cushion to start off this game for Hagen Smith. And this is his first major league debut, one of our highly touted pitching prospects. We got a 3-headed monster in that category with Hagen Smith, Noah Schultz, and then also Grant Taylor. And Smith was actually the one pitcher that progressed the most when it came to last season, as he progressed real nicely. I think he went up 5 overall completely. The second most was 4, so they were close, but he was by far the best, and he was on his lonesome on that, as we're going to try to pick off. But Hagen Smith, he's got a good repertoire, throws a 95 plus mile per hour fastball that actually gets up to 98 as well. And you always gotta love a left-handed pitcher. And we got 2 great left-handed prospects in both Hagen Smith and Noah Schultz. Hagen Smith was actually a first-round draft pick just a couple seasons removed, honestly. And we did not do a good job drafting in this previous first round when we got Juan Rivera. He's not terrible, but 10th overall, that's more of a prospect you want to get in the second round as a steal. And we ended up drafting him pretty high, and that slider is going to get by Carpenter for Hagen Smith's first career strikeout as a starter. So starting off pretty well here in the bottom. Gotta watch out for the steal. Not having a big lead right now, so I don't think he's going just yet. Hagen Smith is going to be a key to this franchise, as we want to build a great pitching rotation and a great defense behind that pitching rotation. So Hagen Smith should be a key factor in that. We added Dylan Cease, which helps out the rotation, and we could have a rotation in a couple of seasons of Cease, Smith, Schultz, and Grant Taylor, as he's going to fight that slider inside off. Going to the outfield is Colson Montgomery, and he makes a play. So Hagen Smith, with a good half inning and a 2-run cushion, is able to set them down pretty easily, with besides giving up that 1 walk. So back here in the second inning, so far so good on the debut for Hagen Smith. 1 inning, no earned run so far. And he was decent out of the bullpen. I wouldn't say he was phenomenal, but he was decent out of the bullpen last year when we brought him up. And we kind of have the same process. I think we're going to have the same process with Noah Schultz. At some point, we'll bring him up in the bullpen, preferably in September. Unless he blows us away with his stuff down in AAA. And, you know, he kind of forces our hand there. But at the moment, the plan is to bring him up in September, around that time, and really have him come out of the bullpen just like we did with Hagen Smith. We're hoping Hagen Smith has a good rookie debut, or a rookie year I should say, as we're going to throw the 2-2. That was on the corner, but we don't get the call. And next is actually Max Clark, who's debuting for the Tigers. So you got a debut on the other side with Max Clark, who's coming up. So you got a rookie on rookie with 1 down. Can we force a ground ball and potentially a double play?
No, he's in there, safe.
Now Max Clark, I believe, is their 4th overall prospect in the organization. I believe he cracks the top 50. Now, interesting prospect. Number 15 in MLB, number 1 center fielder, and number 3 in Detroit. So he was even higher than I expected. We got him in a hole, and we're going to get strike 3 called on the edge. Leaves the bat on the shoulder, and Hagen Smith gets his 2nd strikeout in this game. That was painted on the edge by Hagen Smith. They really want to try to test us on first base. You gotta be worried about that. Good news about Hagen Smith too is his age, as he's only in his age 23 season. So getting into the majors pretty early in his career. And honestly, based on overall, how was that a ball? No help there by the ump. And now you got Javier Baez. He doesn't really throw this cutter often, or at least they don't ask for the cutter a lot. Get a lot of the slider, a lot of the 4-seam, some circle change here and there, as we're going to get one right now. See if that gets a swing and a miss. But not a lot of that cutter. Got a 2-2 hole. And we get him on the slider. The 3rd strikeout of the game so far for Hagen Smith. And I misspoke earlier. It wasn't a walk. It was actually a base hit that he gave up in the 1st inning. So in steps DJ Stewart, the Rule 5 pick. He got hit by a pitch in his first at bat, and we're looking to do some damage. Now we're up 2-0. Always could score more runs. Give the rookie something to have when he comes on the mound, some confidence. And you're gonna have DJ Stewart knock it into right field for a base hit. So you got 1st and 2nd with Luis Robert Jr. coming up. So the 1st hit as a White Sox for DJ Stewart. So more run support for Hagen Smith, as we got a 4-0 lead. We could try to pitch to contact. We also don't want to give up a lot of runs, as he's already up to 41 pitches here in the bottom of the 3rd. So a little high on the pitch count here early on. And he's got a nasty slider as he gets another strikeout on that pitch. That is the 4th strikeout here early. So you're seeing the swing and miss stuff from this prospect, which we love here in Chicago. some reason Chicago's really good at pinpointing. I know I said this in the series before, but pinpointing left-handed pitchers for some reason. Chris Sale, Garrett Crochet, and now Hagen Smith, in a great play by Luis Robert Jr. He's playing really well offensively and defensively right now, as he has a double in the last half inning to get us 2 more runs. Well, Hagen Smith cruising. Hopefully that continues. Using the stride or the analog pitching or whatever you want to call it. And I get a lot of good control with that. I'm gonna have to see what I could do with the sliders, because I don't want to use something else. Maybe I could throw off the pitcher consistency. But another good inning from Hagen Smith, as he gets a strikeout there, and he's rolling. So Hagen Smith on a roll, starting the bottom of the 4th. I think last inning was a good inning. He was able to save some of his pitches, or save his pitch count a bit, I should say. Especially after getting up to 40 pitches in 3 innings. You know, bottom of the 4th. You're only at 52 right now, so it's not too bad. But definitely want to see if you can get out of here before you hit 60. But when you do strike a lot of people out and get swing and miss stuff, you're gonna throw a lot of pitches. As the slider goes inside, he does not offer at it. That slider is dangerous. I'm gonna see if we can get this cutter to catch the back door. He offers at it. That's gonna be popped up. That should be an easy play for Kyle Teal. And Kyle Teal's gonna be a fun one. We'll probably have to get into a game with him this season. He's gonna be a fun prospect to watch grow in this system. I think we got a good group of prospects here. So even though we were pretty bad in our first draft, we still got the pieces around it to really make it work. That cutter's going to catch too much of the plate and be fouled off. I got Hagen Smith working on pretty much everything else. I think the velocity and the break is already there. The control could probably go up a little bit. We'd like to see a little bit more control. As he gets a fastball up high. That could have been 3-1, but he offers at it. I'm going to get a slider here. Does he offer at this? He does, and that's a strikeout. Hagen Smith bringing him up and knocking him down. 6 strikeouts so far this game. We got a lot of strikeout potential with these prospects. I think Grant Taylor at one time didn't seem like he had a lot of strikeout potential, but then played in the AAA and shut us up real quick when we played with him. Hagen Smith. That's 0-2 quick here. He's already up to 60 pitches, 62 pitches. So I don't know how much longer he got. That was a good cutter. That was a really good cutter. And we're going to get this slider on the outside. Then an inside fastball. I like the mix of going low and outside and then high and inside. Kind of throwing the batter off. And that's going to be a base hit to the opposite field. But he's going to second base. And a bad throw saves an out. He could have been definitely out on that if DJ Stewart made a better throw into second base. He tried to stretch it to 2. It worked out, but he should have been out. But that's when you have speed and you force some plays, sometimes you get throws like that. You're able to get an extra base when you knew it wasn't a good idea. So you got the rookie Max Clark again. Good chance to add a run for the Tigers. And he's got us in a 2-1 count. He's mentioned that we might turn down the consistency, but I think we're in a good spot because it's pretty hard to time this. No, I think we're doing pretty well there. And the slider he's able to fight off. Let's see if Hagen Smith could get another strikeout here early on. That's going to be another strikeout. He is wheeling and dealing right now. What a debut for Hagen Smith so far. So with Hagen Smith wheeling and dealing, you got DJ Stewart, who's 1 for 1. And reached base on a hit by pitch in his first at bat, singled in his second. See if that can continue. He's got some good pop, as I was saying before he got hit by a pitch. So we're hoping that he adds some of that home run power that we need. I think Luis Robert Jr. had 32 home runs, and then the next highest was maybe 17. See if we could get another 20 plus guy. And if DJ Stewart could do that in a platoon role, that would be perfect. Colson Montgomery's got a lot of pop too, so they got roughly the same pop. 2-2 to DJ Stewart. And he gets us on a circle change, just a little too far ahead of that one. That's a good pitch. So bottom of the 5th, Hagen Smith still trying to mow this lineup down. This is a perfect team to get a debut against, I would say. Especially in your first start early on in the season. And this is a really good team to get that debut with. Get a confidence builder type of game. That slider's going to be fought off. Is that going to get down for a hit? No, it doesn't. Baldwin runs it down for a good play there. And you got one down. And then Javier Baez coming up, the number 9 hole hitter. That slider starts off way outside. Catches the plate. Ooh, that was a good one too. That was a really good slider. He's going to fight off a fastball. That should get down for a base hit. So with one down, you got one on. I don't know how much longer we got with Hagen Smith. He's up to 78 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, he really needs a double play ball to potentially go deep into this ball game. As a circle change is going to be fought off. Gonna leave that slider way up. Good thing he was early on that, because that could have been dangerous. And we're going to get a high fastball to finish it out. He offers at it. That's going to be flied out to left field. Easy play for DJ Stewart. 1 out away from 5 scoreless for Hagen Smith. And that is going to be the final out as Luis Robert Jr. comes in, makes the play. And 5 strong for Hagen Smith. Can it continue? And taking a look at the starter comparison, Reese Olson was on the mound for the other side. Only 1 strikeout in 4 innings and 4 earned runs. And Hagen Smith, 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. He does have the 1 walk and gave up 5 hits in the meantime. I mean, 4 hits in the meantime. And really spreading out the base runners is really helping him. Bottom of the 6th starts off. That's going to be fair. That's going to be trouble. But a nice play by DJ Stewart. Barehanded and a perfect throw into second. Holds him at first. That could have been dangerous if that was a double to start off this inning. But only a run on first. You could get a double play and that erases the whole base hit. So double play still an option. Leadoff doubles are always dangerous. And you're always thankful when you get away with only a single. Because that was a dangerous, dangerous spot. That's going to catch too much of the plate. It's blocked at first base. Will we be able to get one? We do get one. So, guy on second and 1 down. Good job by O'Hearn keeping that in the infield and also getting out. Because that could have been a lot worse than what it was. You could have had first and second, at least maybe first and third with a no out. And that's going to be rolled over to first base. That's going to be a foul ball. Hagen Smith finally dealing with some adversity here late in this game. That fastball gets blown by Colt Keith. Then we're going to try to get him the slider outside. And strike 3 called. Wow, that was a favorable call, and we'll take it. 8th strikeout so far for Hagen Smith. Can he reach double digits in his debut? That'll be a statement game if he gets double digits. That's going to be slapped into left field, and that is a good play by DJ Stewart. So 6 innings strong for Hagen Smith and 8 strikeouts. 2 strikeouts away, and he'll have double digits in his debut as a starter. DJ Stewart back up after getting the final out. Can he do some damage here in the top of the 7th? That was a pitch to do so. A hanging slider. And we weren't able to do too much damage as we were a little late on that. Or very late, I should say. And we're going to ground out to second base. That should be an easy play. And DJ Stewart, so far 1 for 3 in a hit by pitch. So with Hagen Smith getting tired here in the bottom of the 7th, we're going to see what he's got left in the tank. See if we can get one more inning out of him. We do have a pitcher up in the bullpen. And it's Schuster, who we want to get a look at. So it'll be a perfect segue going into Hagen Smith into Schuster, who had a really good spring training. And we gave him a shot out of spring training to show what he's worth out of the bullpen. High fastball, that's going to be fought off. That's going to shallow left center field. Montgomery's going to get out there. And an easy play for him. So far, so good for Hagen Smith. We could get 7 strong if he continues. That slider's on the outside corner. That's driven into right field. A good hit for Jake Rogers. Made some clean contact on that backdoor slider. So 1 down and 1 on so far. And you got Javier Baez, the number 9 hole hitter, but he's batting .500 on the season, it seems like. I don't know if that's just from this game. And we got him in a 0-2 count. We're going to try to make him fish for the circle change, and he does for the 9th strikeout here for Hagen Smith. Dominating type stuff for Hagen Smith. Hopefully this is a sign for what's going to happen in the future. Love the start so far. Hopefully we're able to get out of this inning without any damage and really complete a great debut on the mound out of the starting rotation. High fastball, he does not offer. Can we get that 10th strikeout? That'll be a cherry on top of this debut. He's up to 103 pitches. He offers at the circle change. That should get him out of it. It does not. A bad play by Montgomery. A bad decision. He goes to second base instead of first. And next thing you know, you got first and second. And do we keep Hagen Smith? I think we rely on the rookie to get out of this. He's owed that much. He's out of energy though, so this is definitely his last batter either way. And he goes 0-2 in this count. Can we get him on this slider? No, we do not. See if we could get another slider outside. See if he offers. He does, slaps it, and it's foul. Another slider. Might as well go to his best pitch, and you get to 10th strikeout. It was meant to be for him to get 10 Ks in 7 innings. Hagen Smith, take a bow. What a debut from Hagen Smith. Absolute stud. So after Hagen Smith's great debut, we're going to have Jared Schuster come on the mound. And last year, well, 2024, we have to go back to. He pitched 73 innings, had a 4.30 ERA. We'll see if this round in the MLB is a little bit better for him. He won it out of spring training. At least we gave it to him. I don't know if he necessarily won it. He didn't allow an earned run, but he also didn't pitch a lot of innings. I think he pitched 5 innings. And it's always nice to have another lefty in the bullpen. He's going to face the number 3 hitter, so he's facing the middle of the lineup. The heart of the lineup, I should say. So he's got the work cut out for him, but a huge lead. And that's going to be driven into right field. Chasing that down is Austin Slater, and a good play by Austin. 1 down. And we should get 2 innings out of Jared Schuster. He is a starting pitcher that we have out of the bullpen. Always nice to have one of those. Get a 0-2 count here early. Outside fastball, he's going to take that. See how this circle changes. Nasty as he gets the swing and miss. So 2 up, 2 down for Schuster. And that's going to be jammed. Is it going to drop for a base hit? It does. DJ Stewart not fast enough to get there. That's the one thing about having fielding plus speed. DJ Stewart has a good glove. He just doesn't have the speed to get there. So you have blooped singles. We have somebody with good speed. I feel like that's made, that play. Good reaction and good speed will get that play made. And that's what we want in the end of the day. No cheap singles like that. Or cheap hits, I should say. Oh, Schuster with a runner on. 2-1, getting down in this count. Can we go ahead and strike 3 called? And there you got it. Schuster with a good inning. And he'll come back out for the 9th, and we'll get another look at him. Oh, DJ Stewart here for another at-bat here in the top of the 9th. Should be the last of the game. At least we hope. We don't want to go into extras with a 4-0 lead. Gotta say, though, back-to-back, Dylan Cease looked like an ace that he is. And then Hagen Smith, phenomenal in his debut as a starter. We were way too early on that. I think that's why we check swung. Oh, way too late on that. Indecisive if we wanted to swing, and we ended up swinging. And that is his last at bat. 1 for 4, not bad. You could see Luis Robert Jr. absolutely insane this game. See if he gets a hit in this one. And he does. 5 for 5 for Luis Robert Jr. So back on the mound is Schuster to end this game, hopefully. That's a drag bunt, or a attempt at a bunt for a single. Doesn't have crazy nasty stuff, but he has really good control. 93, around 93 with his fastball, but You could see by the circle. A very good control of it. And that slider. Nice swing and miss there for the first out. So we had double debuts. Double good debuts, I should say. Between Schuster. Oh, and Schuster's going to get a line drive down the line as I said that. Could have jinxed him. That's going to be a double. Nice throw in. Might have to put somebody up in a bullpen just in case. So number 9, Javier Baez up. One down, a runner on second. That's going to be slapped into left field. Will he test it? He does. Is DJ Stewart going to be able to make a good throw? He does not, as that one was up the line. And things are not looking good for Schuster at this point. Back-to-back hits, a double, then a single. We do have our closer, Karen Kack, lining up, or warming up in the bullpen. That's going to be slapped into right field. That's another hit. So back-to-back-to-back hits, as Slater's going to try to throw it into third. And we've seen enough of Schuster. As coming in is James Karenkak, the winner of the closing role out of the spring training. You know, he didn't necessarily win it, but, you know, he didn't do anything to lose it after finishing out the season as our closer. So we gave it to him, and we'll see how he does early on in this season. Because we do have a couple people we like, as in Jose Alvarado and Camilo Duvall, but that's a double play as I say that. And a double play ends the game. White Sox win, so we start off 2-0 here against a divisional rival. You love to see it. And Hagen Smith, what a debut. So Hagen Smith, 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk. Absolutely phenomenal. And Luis Robert Jr., 5 for 5 with a home run and a double and 4 RBIs. Talk about a game for Luis Robert Jr. And Kyle Tail, 2 for 4. Chase Mydroth, 1 for 4. And then you had DJ Stewart, who scored 2 runs. He was 1 for 4 as well. So a good game throughout. Schuster was pretty good. Got into some trouble, and Karenkak came in and did his job, which we like to see. So we got a big moment to jump into. Ryan O'Hearn is up in the 5th inning with the bases loaded against a lefty. So lefty on lefty. Big position for Ryan O'Hearn right now. And O'Hearn was brought in, and he's been really good so far. At least in our first game, he had a couple doubles. And it's a righty on lefty, I lied. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. In his first game, he was really good. Second game, not so much. I think he had a 0-4. And he's going to get a single, potentially a double here. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 2 and 3. A bases clearing double for Ryan O'Hearn here in the top of the 5th to give us a 3-1 lead. And O'Hearn delivers. I think our move from Andrew Vaughn to Ryan O'Hearn is going to be massive for this franchise. And to continue this top of the 5th, let's see if Slater could also do some damage. As you know, he had a great season last year. We wanted to bring him back on 10 million. He denied us and got late into free agency, where we were able to get him a lot cheaper than 10 million. So he kind of, you know, shot himself in the foot in that situation. Lost out an extra 3 million per year for 2 years he could have had, but, you know, had to play hardball, and he ended up losing that battle. We fight that off to first base. That should be the final out. But O'Hearn with a delivery, giving us 3 runs here in the top of the 5th. So with the help of O'Hearn's bases clearing double, we go on to win this game 4-2. John Burke, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. O'Hearn, 1 for 4 with that double, 3 RBIs. Brooks Baldwin, 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Luis Robert Jr. was 0 for 2, but had a run. In Colson Montgomery, 1 for 4 with a double. So, big job, a good job by Ryan O'Hearn, because even if we only had that bases clearing double, we still would have won 3-2. You got another good chance of jumping in with Colson Montgomery, who's finally making his major league debut, or at least getting a full season of major league work. He got called up last September for a little bit, but this is his actual full season in the majors. 24 years old, so he's not on the young side. I felt like he could have went back to AAA based on performance, but it was borderline, and I think at his age, it's time to be in the majors. If we want to commit to him, they don't want to waste his time in the AAA once again. Top of the 8th, we're down by 1. Big moment here. And he's got a 3-1 count. Kyle Teal on deck. See if Colson Montgomery could do some damage here. That's a good sinker. Definitely a strike. We got a 3-2 count, only one down. And he gets ball 4. Gratterall with a bad pitch there. So bases loaded. Kyle Teal's up. He's batting .437, 1-for-1 today, but doesn't have a good average with runners in scoring position. He's got a 0 average. I don't know if that's with at-bats or without at-bats, but it's 0 across the board. That was a good sinker. A little early on that. So 0-2 quickly here. Can we fight back? No, we cannot, and that slider gets us. I don't know why we swung at that. But 3 pitches and a strikeout for Kyle Teal. And they're going to bring on the righty. Righty's going to face Brooks Baldwin. Can the young Brooks Baldwin, I say young, he's 26. Can he do some damage? That's... What is that, a screwball? Is that a screwball? Yeah, that's a screwball. I haven't seen one of those in forever. Devin Williams with the screwball. Oh, man, that's a nasty slider. This is the Devin Williams. What am I saying? Bases loaded. 0-2 already. That screwball is nasty. I want to draft a pitcher with a screwball. That's on my bucket list for this series. As a cutter gets blown by Baldwin. Unable to hit that one. And we do not get any runs to help out. But it's not our last chance. Josh Rojas is up, top of the 9th. A guy on first base facing Devin Williams. So we get another chance to do some damage. That screwball, tough to hit. Good timing and all. We still couldn't get a good piece of it. And we're going to get a fastball up. Josh Rojas is going to drive that to left field, but that's warning track power as it dies. And the left fielder makes a play on it. So Rojas drives it, but not far enough. And Austin Slater is up. Let's see if he could help us out. He's 1-for-4 today. And a good slider. I felt like we were on pretty good timing with that too. No, just early. I mean, it's not terrible timing. That screwball gets us once again. Oh, 0-2 early. A slider up, and or actually a cutter up, and we pop that up. Oh, Lord. Definitely missed the barrel of the bat there. And 2 down for Chase Mydroth. That was good timing and all. Just couldn't do anything with it. That screwball gets us once again. It's kind of like a, kind of looks like a 12-6 that kind of breaks the other way a little bit. Definitely an interesting pitch. That's a really good pitch. We're not even offering at that. If you put the ball there, best of luck to you unless there's 2 strikes, which we do have now. So Chase Mydroth. Oh, and I think we had to fight that off. I think that was out number 3 if we don't fight that off. That's just me, though. I don't think he has the speed or the stealing for it. So 2 down, a 2-2 count. Down by 1. Oh, we fought that off. We should have never swung at it. We got lucky there. That screwball, we don't chase at it. And Luis Robert Jr. is up next. See if we could go ahead and keep this inning alive and keep this game alive. That cutter was right there for us. That was good timing too, so sucks we couldn't hit that into play. Can Chase Mydroth help us out? He's gonna pop it out into shallow center field. Second baseman goes out, makes the play, and we lose the game 1-0. Talk about a pitching duel. Taking a look, you had Shane Smith, who pitched a 5 1/3. He only allowed 1 earned run, but he did have 4 walks. I think that's the biggest thing to look at. Shohei Ohtani on the other side didn't let up an earned run at all. You had Colson Montgomery 1-for-3 with a double. Corey Lee 1-for-3 with a double. Oscar Colas 2-for-2, and Luis Robert Jr. 1-for-4. And Oscar Colas is going to go down for 1 to 2 weeks, so let's put him on a 10-day. Not a massive hit to the team as we lose that one. And we got another chance to jump into a game. Top of our bottom of the 10th. I think we're going to simulate on this one. We're not interested in jumping in on that. And we ended up losing 4-3. And this is the date we wanted to get to, as we want to take a look at both our draft picks who should be debuting in the AA. So let's jump into it, where we will take some at-bats with our outfielder prospect, our number 4 prospect overall, in Juan Cruz, and then Leo Tejera, second baseman prospect, number 7 overall. We'll take a look at both of them in this game. So in steps Juan Cruz, our number 1 draft pick, 10th overall. Not the best draft pick. Obviously, we got some work to do on our scouting and our overall draft process, but not so bad if he's ranking number 4 in the system. So hopefully there's something there. He's got B potential. Hopefully it's high B, as he's gonna ground out to first, and that's gonna get by the first baseman. So I wonder if they're gonna, give him a hit on that. Wonder what the score will be. And this rule is, honestly, it didn't show us. So let's take a look at the box score. 1 for 1 with a single. So that's good for him. We're gonna be able to fast forward until Tejera's at bat. No runners on after that double play. Tejera on the skinnier side, 18-year-old. Oh, he's got some time to beef up, which we'll do. We will do, and I know the game doesn't really do it for us. You might add a little bit of weight to him, change the body dimensions and all that good stuff. That was a curveball that we were way ahead on. And Tejera's really major league ready, at least for this team. But we want him to start in single A. Yeah, I mean double A at least. Give him a little bit of time before we call him up. That's line to short. That's an error. There's no way that's a hit. That had to be an E3. Or not E3, E6. And it is E6, so not the first hit for him. So starting off 1-1 for Juan Cruz. Can he make it 2 for 2? Like his stance. I like his stride. He's got not a super long stride. Pretty compact. Number 2 right fielder in Major League Baseball. Number 43 overall in all of baseball. That was a good pitch. I'm okay with taking that. See if we get another good pitch to hit. That's a slider, and we're way too early as he goes down on strikes. So in steps Leo Tejera. The second at bat. Looking for that first hit. Just outside. He was a little early on that. So the second round pick, trying to make a career for himself. Not a high development trait, or a potential rating I should say, as he's only a C potential, but could potentially be a long-time White Sox. And we chase that slider and look absolutely novice on that pitch. Definitely a bad pitch to chase. And Juan Cruz, 1 for 2. Top of the 6th, we're down by 1. Let's see if we get a rally going to lead off this inning. We'll say, it was disappointing at the end of the day with the draft that we had. When it comes to facial here, it definitely gets an A+. I think he's killing it there, but, that B potential, not really it. And a 59 overall as well. So, not a lot going for him. As he pops this one out to short. Easy play. But if he puts up numbers and develops well, you never know. And let's see if we could get Leo Tejera his first hit. That's going to be down the middle, but he's not able to really drive that. Wasn't able to square up a fastball down the middle, and you hate to see that. So, over so far in his debut. Big chance here for Juan Cruz. 1 for 3. He's got a guy on first and third, nobody out. Knock in the first runs of this game for the team. That was the pitch to hit. Mid, and we're late on it. Very late on it. Definitely not ready for that one. Juan Cruz trying to make a name for himself here in the AA. He's gonna drive that question mark. Not really. Mid fastball once again, and not able to really make him pay for it. But he gets a sac fly, so he gets his first RBI of his campaign. So he's got his first hit and his first RBI. We'll like to see a base hit to knock in that run and really add more pressure, but we'll take the RBI. Here comes the switch hit in Tejera. They bring in a lefty. Let's see how he does against the left-handed pitcher. Oh, that was a slider that should have been sent over the moon, but way too early. This pitch is really slow. Mid 80s with a sinker. So we gotta time this a little bit differently. Still very early on that 84-mile-per-hour sinker. That slider's hung up, and that's driven out to left field. Is that gonna be out? And it is a 3-run home run for Leo Tejera. Talk about getting your first hit in a major way on a 2-strike pitch. He gets a hanging slider and he sends it over the left field wall to tie this game. Leo Tejera with a great choice to make his first hit with. So going into extra innings, Juan Cruz up here in the top of the 10th, a 4-4 game. And it was a big reason to get into the 10th inning for Juan Cruz and Leo Tejera. They were big reasons why we're here. And let's see if they could end it now. Because Juan Cruz got a guy on second, could knock him in, add some pressure, and we chase a fastball at our eyelids. What are we doing? What are we doing? Another fastball at our eyelids that we're chasing. I think it's him. It's not me. The fact that he's 5'7". Gotta adjust. Remember, the strike zone's a little bit lower. And that's a good 2-seam that we just sit and look at. Strike 3. Juan Cruz goes down. So at the end of the day, the Barons lose 5-4. Tejera was 1-for-4 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Juan Cruz 1-for-4 with an RBI, so not the worst of debuts, and we'll see how they perform moving forward. I just wanted to get into the game and kind of show you Juan Cruz and Leo Tejera. And it was a good showing. You definitely could have been better, but we're not too mad at it. Now, it's time to see if we can get to a point where we're able to start doing some scouting. Gonna see some pitcher updates, we're not too worried about that. So early on, we're getting an offer, and it's Johan Vado for Edgar Quero. 28-year-old beat potential pitcher. Really good velocity. Has that 12-6 curve that we like. A $14.3 million contract, and he's going to arbitration. We're good on that. That's too much money. We're not interested. We like to save our money a little bit and be a little more concise with our picks. And then we're going to have Zach Dolok get injured. It will be a day or two, so we'll keep him active. And now it's time to do our scouting. So we have the number 6, or go what overall pick we have. We would have to go back and look. So we have the number 9 pick. So this time we're going to be a little bit smarter with where we are looking for our talent. With the number 9 pick, we want to be in that 6 to 10 range, or 6 to 12 range. So let's focus on them. You got a center fielder in Nate Byler. Really good speed and stealing. Looks like the contact, the fielding's gonna be there, the vision, the discipline. So definitely gonna take a look at him. Gonna make sure that we choose the right scouts to take a look at some of these players. So position players at a 96, so we're gonna have him scout the center fielder and Byler. We also got Jason Ryder we could take a look at. We'll start with Byler. Hopefully he's somebody that falls. Now I really want to take a look at Roberto Alvarez. As you can see, the contacts there, the power is going to get up to 69, 70, and then also a really good vision and discipline ceiling, the fielding phenomenal, and also the reaction time and the speed once again. So let's take a look at him, and then we got one more person to really take a look at, and we're gonna do in that top 7 to 10 range, probably the number 9 prospect at this point. You got Miguel Lugo, who is, again, looks like he's going to be a good fielder. You also got Kevin Matsui, a third baseman from Japan. Looks like he's going to have crazy fielding. A 5'10" third baseman. That's the only thing. Not really a third baseman at the end of the day. Probably somebody we would move to shortstop if we can, or second base. You got him. You also got Ferreira, Augustine Ferreira. Not really a third baseman either. You got Elton Rowland, Charlton Bullington. You got a first baseman in Dave Manuel. And he actually fits a need. Looks like the fielding's going to be there. The bat's going to be there as well. And it says good speed. So that's interesting. So let's go with Matsui for now. We could always get to Dave Mueller as well. Positional needs, I would say first baseman. Left fielder and right fielder, I would say yes. Can we pick another one? No, we cannot. So we'll see how these how the scouting process goes. Hopefully one of these guys is a stud and also falls to us. But that is the first three we're gonna take a look at. We want to improve the position players. We don't really need much in the pitching side of things, so that'll be our first look at for our scouting plan. And I think that might be where we end it. I think this is a good place to end it. We took a look at Hagen Smith, who was absolutely insane in his debut. He's already pitched another game. His ERA is up to a 6.23, so he gave up 6 runs in an inning and a third against Houston. So after a great debut, goes the opposite way in his second start. You got Dylan Cease, who's been good in both of his starts, 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Sean Burke, 1 earned run and 2 earned runs in the 2 starts that he had. No earned run so far for Jonathan Cannon, and then 1 earned run so far for Shane Smith, and they haven't got to their second start yet. So we're gonna keep a close eye on Hagen Smith in his first ever, work through in the rotation when it comes to the major leagues. He's somebody we definitely want to treat with kid gloves because we might not be there yet. And if we're not there, then there's no reason to let him continuously get hurt or ruin his confidence, I should say. Sitting here at 4-4, we're gonna wrap it up for now. Next episode, we'll take a look at some of these other players like Josh Rojas, who we'll be talking about, trading potential. We'll also take a look at Luis Robert Jr., who's obviously a storyline every season because he has our best trading value and is a guy that could get us some prospects and help this rebuild. We'll take a look at some of the scouting once again after this week, and hopefully we do a little bit better of a job drafting this time around, because Juan Cruz and Leo Tejera, decent debuts, but not huge fans of them so far. But that's going to do it for this one. If you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below how you feel about this episode and how you feel about how I'm doing on the episodes. And thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.